Welcome to Series 2, Episode 6 of our podcast Sage's Retreat, home of all things dad and games related, with current events along with anything else that we can think of. My name's Nathan, and this is my co-host Lee.
Well, hello there.
And today is going to be a bit different. As you can probably see already, this is a bit of a short video, and that's because we've been extremely busy this week. Do you want to tell everyone why we've been very busy, Lee?
I love the fact that you're predicting this is going to be a shorter video.
Yeah.
This is a shorter video because every time we say we're going to bang a quick one, half an hour, it's like an hour and 5 minutes, and I'm looking at you just going, "Oh, Nathan, will you stop talking so we can just?"
Yeah, I'm preempting it this time. I'm preempting it.
We will do it. Watch that. We need like a timer, ding, ding, ding,
Yeah.
and then we're done. Yeah.
As long as it's under an hour and 9 minutes, it's shorter. So
we'll do it. Between half an hour and 40 minutes, I'm predicting, but we'll see. Yeah, we've been bit of a different episode, so we're not going to be thinking of a specific topic. It was never going to be like that forever anyway. We're not going to be like this, and this, although we are, because we've got plenty of interesting things we want to talk about, including bringing people in to sort of chat about them as well, because I think we've got some interesting people that we can use. And plenty left. We've already had some. We've got plenty left to use, which is brilliant. What we've been doing this week is we've been playing, we've been uploading quite a lot. This kind of level of upload probably won't last forever, because I'll be back at work at some point when coronavirus lets us. But we're taking advantage of it at the moment. We're having some fun. I say fun. It's an interesting word, the word fun, when you play Dark Souls 3. If fun involves dying a lot, then yeah, I'm having a whale of a time.
I'm loving it.
I mean, it's your fault. I mean, why did you drag me into this Dark Souls 3 situation, Nathan?
Because I love it, and I want you to love it as well, and I know that you can grow to love it, because that dying and do the same thing over again until you get it right, the satisfaction on that, it's the same as becoming a dad. That's the elation you get
kind of bullshit.
from doing that.
Kind of bullshit. It's what's dribbling through out of your
body. But you'll see when we start getting into nitty gritty. I know we've got quite a few episodes out in a minute, and we've got quite a lot still to come. But I don't feel as though we're quite there yet in terms of difficulty. I know you've had a bit of a rough start, but we got over that. I think we've been having fun, apart from constant PvP people invading, which is a bit annoying. But
yeah, brushing on two things. I think I am enjoying it more as we go along. That's fine. I am, but for me, it's not a solo game. I explained this to you. This is not a game I can go, I'm just going to go grind it a bit or play it a bit and have fun. But I don't enjoy it as a solo. I enjoy playing with somebody else, and currently that person is you. I'm playing this game with, and I enjoy playing the game with you. Gaming for me is a big social thing. I don't do a lot of solo gaming. I like to game and chat because, especially at the moment, we've been not sort of seeing many people. We have to get our social time somewhere. You would often have a lot. You'd have your friends maybe pop round once or twice a week. For me, I'd chat a lot with people at work. Some of them I like to talk to. Some of them I just put up with. Not going to say who it is, but it's your outlet, isn't it? Your social. We all need a bit of that. Although I often have this conversation with Corinne. I'm like, I'm an only child. I can be on my own and be happy with my own company, and I can get on with it. And I'm fine with that. Where a lot of people can't. A lot of people go insane if they don't have people to bounce off. But me, I'm just like, let's get on with it. And it's always been my little superpower. I can just kind of I can go into town and spend hours just doing what I'm doing, and I'm fine with it. People are like, yeah, they do it as an escape. I do it because it's just what I used to do all the time. It's fine. I'm fine with the thoughts in my head, and I'm a bit of a watcher. But when it comes to gaming, this game in particularly, I wandered off in a weird direction there. I like to play it with you. Also, you have quite a lot of knowledge about it, and you're my personal wiki. I'm like, what's this rock do? And you're like, that's a magic rock. And I'm like, what? And you're like, yeah, get it. Do something with it later in the game. And I would have walked past that rock and just gone, that's just a rock. That's how it feels with this. You're very useful for that sort of play. The PvP is really annoying because I just want to play the game and enjoy the game and get on with it. And then Because you die in this game, and when you die, you go back to the bonfire. And when you go back to you call it a bonfire?
Yeah,
call it a bonfire, don't they? And then it kind of resets, and you have to. So if you've been playing for 10 minutes, foraging around, getting stuff, killing numerous enemies, and sometimes the simplest enemy in that game, kills you because you happen to miss a roll, or it just happens to stab you, and like, how did it do that? And it kills you, and it can be frustrating. So if you're doing well, and then suddenly, you have been invaded by Lord Ding Dong, and he comes in and he attacks you and kills you, because invariably a lot of these invaders are high level, and we're both running low level characters, and we get killed, and then it resets us back, and I'm just like, yeah, that's fine for you, but it's not fine for me, because I was just enjoying the game, and it ruins it for me. The fact that you have to have a special item to consume to do co-op is also nonsense. What a garbage idea. I don't care if it's part of the lore, part of your story. Just let me play with someone. Yeah. I want to start this game and I want to play with someone. I don't care how tight it is with the story and the way it works. I have no interest in that. I just want to play with someone. I can't. I ain't got this bit of this glowing turd I've got to eat. I haven't got that, so we can't play. Oh, well, that's me done then, because I didn't want to play on my own. I hate that. Yeah, that first boss that we were playing, this is the other point I wanted to mention, that first boss was, so it took me nearly 30 tries to kill it. On the last one, I wasn't pleased. I'm just like, I put my controller down, turned off my computer, went downstairs and kicked the cat. That's how it made me feel. I was just like, it was more of a, fuck's sake, next. I wasn't even happy. I was just kind of like, yeah, I've killed it. Yep. And clearly I was using the wrong character. My skill set wasn't there. But yeah, that boss, that's a game changing. That's a ruiner of people. That is.
Yeah.
And we were looking at the achievements, weren't we, in Steam? Yeah. And it's like, we're pretty sure that there must be a very low, not even like a 10%. I bet you there's a bigger percentage of people that play that game, don't get past that boss, and just uninstall it. Like, I did it 30 times. I carried on because I wanted to do the co-op. And I bet you the people that played that game on their own, they played this, went, what is this ridiculous game? I cannot play this. And they just never played it again. Guarantee it. And you can tell by the achievements, can't you? Because you get an achievement for beating it. And if you haven't got the achievement, then you haven't. I feel we should look it up. I'm not going to do it, but what on earth's going off? So yeah, Dark Souls. So we're doing a playthrough. And will we make it to the end?
Yeah. I'm gonna drag you kicking and screaming, and we're gonna finish it, and then you're gonna be like, "Thank you for that. I enjoyed that, and I want to play another one."
And no, I'm not going to install it. I'm going to find the server where it lives, and I'm going to set fire to it. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Yeah, it's fine. We'll get through it. At the moment it's sort of like 2 kind of half an hour to an hour videos a week. But if it ends up being, it'll be uploaded when it does. I mean, if we're busy, it'll be just maybe the 1 half an hour a week. But it's not. It's not like a real set in stone thing. We're just kind of making our way through it. Even if nobody watches it, it's fine. It's there. It's a record, and maybe someone will come across it and go, you know what? I'm just gonna watch this. Also, as a side video, I am collecting snippets of the boss fights. I'm going to put them all together, and you can watch how well I am at standing back while you rush forward and kill them. Yeah. I think that's how that's going to go. I think. Yeah. Although there was that little dog mini boss thing that I just kind of like combat rolled around. I'm like, you said it was like a hated boss or something. Was that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, a hated boss. But yeah, Dark Souls. Rolling on to the other videos that we've been uploading. For a start, we've hit a bit of a milestone. Is that what we say? So a thing that it's nice to get. I mean, we're starting off as a channel. We are very small, but you know, we'll find our niche. We'll appeal to some people at some point. Now, we managed to get, although some of our videos have done relatively well, we managed to get one to basically go over 100 views. And I know what you're thinking, 100 views, oh my God, that's so tiny. But no, I was like, and it's funny because that same day I'd said to Amy, my oldest, I said, I still haven't had a video go over 100 views. And it's not that I was down, but I was like, ugh. It was just like, well, it'd be nice. And then that same day we got one. It was the one that you uploaded. The 10 sort of extended tips, because I did a 20, there was like 23 or something in mine, And mine was like a quick through. Grab some stone, make a club. And it's like, if you hadn't played it and you watched it, you could be like, oh, so I can get food from bushes, I can get this, I can get that. It's very basic, but kind of important as a first half an hour to hour playing. It was something that people could use. Mm-hmm. And then yours went on from that and gave a few more sort of, I don't want to say advanced tips. It was just like a next level, wasn't it? Some other stuff. Like if you kill the boss and you have the pickaxe, you can dig the floor and you can find chests and stuff like that, which is a great tip because there's a very good chance that I would never have known that. And there's a very good chance that someone has watched that video and we've got 175 views on it now, something like that. And it's brilliant. So yeah, the game we're playing, tell me about that game. What is it?
It's called Valheim and it's in early access. It's on Steam. I can't remember how much it is. It's like
$15.99.
Yeah, that we're at. Yeah, I know it were a strange price. I mean, it's worth it. It's well worth it. It's. I can't even describe the graphics. I think you said it best on your stream earlier. It's like an old game that someone's recently released a new like HD texture pack for. It looks like a PlayStation 1 game, doesn't it? That's been revamped.
It has a PlayStation 1, 2 vibe to it. It's like you go up, you see these like this rock or something, and it's like it just looks like a rock or a tree, and then you go up to it and you go, I can see the pixels. I can see but they're not pixels. They're because it's it's a high definition game. It's they're actually they've created this texture that has these, but at a distance it flows and looks nice and. Yeah, it's smooth. It is like a remaster of a game, but it isn't. It's an original game.
Yeah.
Early access, so we're expecting it to break every time you play it. You log, as soon as you go on. To be honest, I've actually put it on and the game's crashed twice, but then it's ran fine. It was just had some trouble initializing. And I did see a recommendation that you always log out, then quit. Never do like a hard quit on it or anything, because apparently that can affect your character. The save doesn't work properly or something. So always. Never kind of like Alt F4 it. Always try to, log out then quit, do it the proper way.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've had no bugs, have we?
No, I've not even had a crash. So and from what I can tell from what other people have played, it's been running fine. It's weird to play a new released game. I mean, it came out on the 5th, was it, or 6th?
About. It was a few days before you bought it, wasn't it?
Yeah, because it's. I mean, it's sort of flew under the radar a little bit, but it's strange that a game, even a normal non-early access game, would come out and wouldn't have this level of polish. That there's no bugs. I mean, this is early access. The early access we've played before, you'd expect them to be train wrecks, and I mean, just look at his last episode with Star Citizen. That's not even early access. That's not even access, and it's the mess that is. And but Valheim, they're adding things. There's weekly updates. I mean, there were an update the other day for it, where they're adding constantly new stuff. There's areas in game that they're going to expand upon. But if they just left it as it is, I would feel as though I've got my money's worth. I would feel as though it's a full game. If I didn't know it were early access, I wouldn't know. Do you know what I mean?
I think that's the main point. If we didn't know, then we would think to ourselves, "Oh, this is a full game." You don't go into the menu and think to yourself, "Oh, it's." Because often I've had an early access game where I've gone into a menu and it's had an item, but it's not complete. You can't select it, or it's grayed out. You play this game and it's like, yeah, this is a game. It's not hard. It doesn't feel like half a game. I'm hoping it's about a quarter of a game. I'm hoping if this if this game was half a game, and there's another half to come, I'd be like, okay, this is going to be something good. But it just feels like a full game. I mean, we haven't sort of got to the end yet of what's available. I'm quite happy. I know you've been progressing through doing this, doing that. I did a stream earlier, and I was quite happy to just... my title of my stream was Building a House. I haven't built my house yet. I've got a little roof thing, but I haven't done my house yet. So I spent an hour and a half walking around, chopping trees, killing... I was upgrading a few bits of my bobs. I got a bow, so I could kill deer, because it's very hard to catch deer. So I needed my bow for the deer. and it was just I got lost a little bit in the game, and I forgot to build my house, which is it's when I think about it, I think it's quite funny because that was my aim. I'm like, I'm going to build a house, and I'm thinking I was going to find a place, build a house, and I didn't do it because the game drew me in. I mean, it's like we experienced a storm, like sunny daylight. That game is beautiful. Like, you don't need any RTX. There's no 20 series, 30 series graphics cards. We don't need that. This game is stunning. The light rays are beautiful. The sky is amazing. The moon at night, it's big, it's bright, it looks beautiful. The water it's not Sea of Thieves quality, but it is nice, isn't it? I mean, if anything, this game feels like Sea of Thieves on land. It has that sort of it feels the same to play it. It's like so they have some different way. Yeah, that's it. It's even got different weather in it. As an early access game, it has different weather, and I don't think you'd necessarily. If there wasn't weather in it, you'd be like, okay, we have a day-night cycle, but the weather isn't in yet, and you'd be like, oh, it's early access, that's fine. No, this has a storm. It's like atmospheric. It's kind of scary, isn't it? It's like it's as a storm should be. It's enough to make you think, is my ass going to blow down? I'm thinking that the deer are going to fall over because it's that windy.
Yeah.
And then there's been a fog. Was you on with the fog? I had it today. I think I had it today. Was it today? Or we had it together. But there was like a low fog. And it was like, whoa, where did this come from? It's so nice. The water surges as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we was building a little dock. And I don't know how far that structure's going to end up getting, whether it'll be turned into something else, I don't know. But we had to sort of try to do it, didn't we? So we've got this dock, and the water was going above the dock, and we were like, what? Because we'd built it. Well, I mean, you were fanning about to something else, weren't you? But I'd started to build it. It was above the water, as a dock should be, a little bit above. And then it was like the water just went over it, and it was like, where did that come from? And ultimately, it was this water surge. It was amazing. What else did we build? What did we build and use before we came off yesterday?
Oh, a raft. We had a raft. Seeing as it's a Viking game, which we've sort of forgot because we've just been doing land stuff. But we built a raft. You can build proper ships and boats and stuff, but at the level we're at, it's just raft. And we went for a little explore, didn't we? We went across the ocean and to see what we could see. To see what we could... Is there a song? Yeah, there is, isn't there? Yeah. We need to... I think when we log into the server again, we need to take that raft back home. I'm not looking forward to that. Quite frankly, I'm scared because it took us like 10 minutes to get there, didn't it? And that raft is slow. Yeah. I mean... Someone did say on one of the I think it was on Reddit, and I was looking, can we please add oars? Like something so someone could stand there and just like, hey, come on, give it some of this so we could get there a little bit faster, because it kind of, I feel like that raft just relies on, I don't know, like maybe 3 or 4 goldfish powering it at the back, just like, and it's just stuttering. Yeah, we need a bit more speed. It felt a bit. Even the sloops in Sea of Thieves move pretty quick, don't they? It felt a bit stable, but maybe that's something. I mean, obviously it's been released early access. People are going to be like, that raft feels slow. Maybe they'll turn around and go, you know what? We'll make it a bit faster. Which is one of the beauties of early access, is that the people that play the games affect them. Whether for the good or for the bad. Because often they'll say, oh, it was so easy to make a raft. And they'll go, fine, you have to go and kill 300 badgers and learn how to fly and create fairy dust. They'll give you some other rules around making it, won't they? They'll massively nerf something, or they'll buff something up. But yeah, Valheim is a very interesting game. I really enjoyed the first boss. Yeah. Did you find the boss quite? Yeah, it was quite atmospheric. It wasn't. I mean, describe the first boss. It was like
What did you do? What did we do to get that first boss?
It was like a sort of sacrificial altar sort of thing that we put deer heads on. It sounds a bit
It's sort of thing you'd find on top of an Aztec pyramid. So yeah.
And then when we did that, it summoned it in, and everything turned dark. It went to like a storm. Lightning was striking ground, and then a big, massive, giant deer popped out with iron horns that had lightning whizzing all around it.
It looked like it had been decorated by like some neon hippie. It looked like it had some kind of crazy Christmas lights going off with its horns. It was stunning to see. Because I said to you, I like this. And you said, yeah, you'll like it when it hits you. Yeah. Which it never really did. I feel, to be honest, it could have been a bit tougher.
Yeah, well, I think we did quite well because we were quite well equipped. I mean, we had decent weapons. You had that new hammer, leather armour and stuff. I mean, anyone who's listening, even if you don't like the game, we've got the video up. So go and have a watch, see what we're talking about, because that is a really good boss fight.
It's on the channel. From walking up to the boss, defeating the boss, and then just kind of doing what you have to do after, which is important, isn't it? That element. Which if you want to describe because you've done it before, haven't you? What you have to do. Yeah.
Then at the beginning of the game, you drop in like a sort of circle of stones, and your quest is basically to bring these things back to these stones, and it just happens to be boss's heads. So we got the head, didn't we? Like the big deer head. Took that back and then mounted it onto stone, and then you sort of get like a magical power for doing it, which lets you run.
It looks like something the Queen would have on a wall.
Like a very elaborate sort of stag sort of thing.
Yeah.
It did look
yeah,
very
definitely.
nice.
So these big megalith stones, and each one indicates a different boss.
Yeah.
And there's 4 or 5, isn't there? And you have to hook the head on, and then it gives you power, doesn't it? What does that first power do, other than the fact that it looks and sounds cool?
What
does it do?
It doesn't sound as good, but it is very useful. It stops you using stamina, and when you run and jump by 60%, it like knocks it down. But in a game that uses mainly stamina for every action that you do, it's a massive
chopping trees, running,
jumping,
rolling,
any interaction with any item that you've got uses stamina. So it's very useful. It makes the game a lot easier and a bit more fun actually when you're running around.
But yeah, Valheim, I'm expecting not that much more from it. That sounds a ridiculous thing to say, but I'm expecting just give me a bit more of the same, you know? Yeah. Give me a bit more of the same and just polish it. It's not. There's no polishing a turd. It's not Star Citizen. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be just more of the same. Make it bigger, and I think I definitely would keep playing it. It has a. For me, when I was playing it this morning, it did have a bit of a Minecraft feel to it. It was saying about trying to... It's very hard to compare it to another game, isn't it? Doesn't quite... It kind of has its own little niche, I think.
I've heard
it's Minecraft in a...
I was going to say I've heard it be described as Minecraft, Skyrim and Dark Souls all mixed into one, but then with Terraria progression system, you know, the wood, copper, axe sort
of course,
thing,
yeah. So,
thing.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of crafting to it, and it's like if you find a new item, it'll come up with a pop-up saying, "Oh, you can now build a fire, or you can build a flint axe or something," and then you can have the option to craft it at the crafting sort of workbench thing, don't you? And it has that. It has a sort of. There's a slight epic Skyrim-y sort of feel to it, and people might go, "It's nothing like that," and you're right, it's nothing like that. But there's something about it, just that I'm a dude with a sword and I've got some magic, and if that's the only connection I'm going to put to it, then I'm fine, because that was my Skyrim experience with either I had a sword or a bow. And at the moment, I've got a club and a bow, so I'm close. And I've got like this bit of magic stuff. So, and I think you had stamina in Skyrim as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
So yeah, there we go. The connections are coming thick and fast. Monsters, here we go. There's another one. Yeah, I'm not going to try and think of any more. I was literally just tapping and going, give me some more, brain. But I haven't got any more, so I'll leave it there. So yeah, that's. I mean, gaming wise, I think that's what we've been up to. I mean, how's home life? Is there anything new sort of popped up?
No, it's still locked in the house, homeschooling. not really getting much done in terms of anything until we're allowed out, which is a bit rubbish.
Wait a minute, didn't you go out yesterday? You had an exciting trip out yesterday, didn't you? You told me.
Oh yeah, I went to the doctors. That was the most fun I've had in ages. And it made me realise, actually, the nurse that I saw at the doctors was the first person I've seen since before Christmas. The first other person that I don't live with. So, Jade and kids, I have not seen one other person in the flesh since before Christmas. And
You've been out shopping, haven't you?
I might have actually.
I know you order, but you...
Yeah, we order, but I wait in the car if Jade goes. I mean, I've seen people walking around because we've been taking dog out and stuff.
Oh, haven't you got like some sort of place where you can order, then go and pick up your shopping?
Oh yeah, that's what we do. We
that's
click and collect.
That's some fancy snobby Sheffield stuff you do.
Yeah, I'm sure they do it in Nottingham as well.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I've not heard of it. I mean, we can order food, or we can order delivery, or we can go and. I like to go shopping because I like to stare at people and watch them, like, not in a creepy way. Just I get my fill of people. You know, there's people around. There is a world out there. He's still there.
Yeah.
We've got something exciting. I sent you a picture earlier. We've got a Krispy Kreme.
Yeah.
We've got like some Krispy Kreme stand that's in Tesco now, and our nearest Krispy Kreme is in town. Well, our nearest Krispy Kreme used to be in Meadow Hall.
God.
And then. Was it Meadow Hall? There's the one in Meadow Hall?
Yeah, there's one in Meadow Hall.
Oh my God. Right, so it was Meadow Hall. Then there was one at the Bull Ring. I think the first one I had was actually the Bull Ring. And then this one's appeared in Tesco. It's got like a stand. It's not like a proper one. It's got like a stand that you can go and like get a box. Get like a mixed box. I like the mixed boxes because you get a bit of... I eat every single one, so it's no... If there's one I don't like, that's not a real thing. It's just not going to happen. I'm just going to eat them all. So yeah, real life. Going off to other things in real life is because we like to keep on top of sort of games and what's happening with films and things like that. We're a bit of a this and that, but it's definitely that kind of popular culture, kind of like entertainment. Part of our regular podcast information that we're going to be doing is we're going to try and get a little snippet of what's going off in the world. Especially in games, but if there's anything else, we're gonna hint on that as well. So the first thing I wanted to mention that I came across was hilarious. It doesn't get much more cyberpunk than CD Projekt Red, the creators of Cyberpunk, got attacked by. It was a cyber attack, and as far as I'm aware, their files were encrypted and held to ransom. What is that? Is that punk? Is that cyberpunk in action?
Is that real? Because I've seen some stuff like.
Is it real? Yeah. Is cyberpunk real? Yes. It came out a little while ago.
Because they're saying it's the source code, aren't they, for the game that's been sort of stolen? But is it some sort of publicity thing, or is it?
No. It's real. Could the programming be that good that despite the T-posing and the people falling through streets, that it's actually created its own AI? Could that be a thing?
That could be. I mean, there is that rogue AI in the game, that Delamere, that taxi man. So he could have. That could be one of his personalities. This will end up being some new DLC that they bring out. It's altered the real thing. You've got to destroy him in game.
Yeah. You get the CD Projekt Red Light headquarters, and you've got to hack in or something. Yeah. Oh my! You're predicting the future of. I actually think this is going to happen. Yeah. Oh my God! It's so exciting! So exciting! But the update early was that it's actually they didn't pay a ransom, so they were told to pay some money. I'm assuming, and they didn't pay up. So as far as I'm aware, it's now actually been sold. But what does that mean? And as long as what does it mean? I don't think it means a lot, does it? What does that? It's nothing. As long as they've got all the original stuff. I mean, because they did say they had an off-site backup which wasn't affected, so that's good. I mean, being a big company like that, they'd probably have. I don't know. They've got obviously the main stuff they're working on, and they've got a backup. They've probably got a backup of they've probably got a couple of. But they'd have to have an off-site one. They'd have an on-site one, and then they'd obviously have an off-site one that would be like hard disconnected, wouldn't it? And when I worked at a place, they had you would have to back everything up in a hard drive, and then that would then go home with the manager like at night or something. So in case the place set fire, and burnt down, they'd still have these important files. But yeah, so apparently it's been sold, but I don't know what they could do with that. Could they do anything with that?
Well, hypothetically, they could make a game with it, but it's you would be stupid to do that. It would be like stealing the Mona Lisa and then drawing a mustache on it and trying to sell it as your own painting. Do you know what I mean?
Because it's Mona Lisa.
Yeah. It's still the Mona Lisa. It's just you've just altered it slightly because that code, it's always going to be code that's been written by somebody that they've got a copy of. So it's copyright infringement if they do anything with it. So they'll just sue whoever brings a game out, and then it's just more publicity for CD Projekt Red, isn't it?
I mean, also, it's code that essentially isn't finished because, let's be honest, the game isn't finished. So are they going to take it and then do what with it? Even if they repackage it and distribute it, it's still unfinished. It's still the broken-ass game, the on-release that it was. I know there's the Defenders, that's fine, sure. But it was, for a lot of people, it was broken. That's obviously not in dispute, is it? It was ultimately slightly knackered. So they've stolen some knackered source code, and that's. I mean, we're not coders, so we can't dip into it too much, and we can't give our knowledge because we don't. We're just people. We're just talking about it. But yeah, what a stupid thing to do. Just find something else to do, and don't hack me. I don't care. I've got nothing. I've literally got pictures of my children, and they're not that interesting. Not the children. The children are interesting. The pictures aren't that interesting. I'm expecting one to hit me in the back of the head. But yeah, more gaming stuff. We've got Forza. I wanted to mention this. Forza Horizon 4, which is a Microsoft Studios game. That is coming out on Steam. I know what you think. I know what people are thinking. That's not that interesting. But for me, I feel like it's the turning around and going, we really need to use Steam. Because ultimately, Steam is the biggest, most popular distributor of games. Maybe they've struck a deal with them. I don't know. But the fact is, it's coming out on Steam. Forza Horizon 4 is a great game, but it's on your Xbox, and I believe you can get it through Game Pass on PC. But now you can get it on Steam, because a lot of people won't use Game Pass. A lot of people just like driving games, and they're trying to snag those people that want to play this game but haven't been able. They might not have an Xbox, haven't got Game Pass. They don't want to get a dodgy copy or anything like that, and they realise that there is a small market that will buy it on Steam, and I think it's important that they recognise how important Steam is. Do you agree? Steam PCs?
Yeah, it's a strange one. When I saw it, I thought, well, who is the market for this? Like, because it must be a very, very small percentage of people that if they wanted to play it that bad they were that against the Game Pass. Why they need to buy it on Steam? I don't know. It don't compute with me, because if I wanted to play it, I would get it Game Pass. I mean, no matter how much you dislike using Xbox app on PC. I mean, I know people hate it. I don't mind it.
It's not too bad.
Yeah,
I don't think it's too. It's not too bad at all. It's better than Epic.
People hate it for some reason. I would just play it on Game Pass. I mean, I can't remember how much it is. Is it £2.99 or something like that? And
it's more than that.
Has it gone up?
The fact is it's affordable, and you get a lot of good games. A lot. It's worth it just for the new Street Fighter game, to be fair. But you get a lot of games to play, and if you like games, it's got all the Halos on it, and there's all sorts. There's just all sorts on it, and also EA Play is integrating into it soon as well. So you'll be able to play, the Mass Effect games, and you can play every EA new release. You can play for 10 hours, so that's not too bad. And I think there's a discount then if you want to buy it. Don't quote me on that one. I'm not sure, but it's good. It's good stuff. I mean, there's some good gaming stuff. Red Dead. After I think Red Dead's had a really good year, they've been smashing on the sales, and also they've got some new solo content coming out for the single player game. There's also they're giving a little bundle away, which is going to have some Club XP, a free horse. Horses are a bit expensive if you don't earn a lot of gold in there. Some of them can be expensive. Hopefully it's a decent one. Another stable slot, which is obviously useful to keep your horse in, because you can't just put it on the street. It's not how you keep horse. And there's some other perks as well. GTA are also getting some new apparel in game, and also I believe in the last 10 months they've sold. The number was, I've lost the number. That's ridiculous, but they've broken records in the last 12 months of sales for those as well. GTA 5 and of course Red Dead Online, which was on offer, and they've both been on offer, but you can buy them super cheap anyway.
Yeah.
If you want to buy Grand Theft, you could jump on CD keys, and it's very, very affordable.
I mean, they give it away free, didn't they, a couple of months ago on Epic? And I think
they did.
A lot of people picked it up. I picked a second copy up, and then that's what all of us were playing.
That's what you've been playing on Epic. I mean, they're both the same, and you could just play on either one interchangeable.
Yeah.
Just the save was cloud-based somewhere else, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like the Rockstar launcher thing, and then it's like a second thing.
It's like, second level of logging in, which is an absolute pain, but it is what it is. Interesting news, Pokemon cards. I've never been a big Pokemon card collector or fan, or I actually don't care about Pokemon, and I'm sorry. Feel free to not like me anymore, that's fine. Are you a big Pokemon fan?
Yep.
There had to be one of us. One of us had to like Pokemon. They've actually been selling...
It had to be me.
The cards have been selling so well that they basically ran out and they're now printing more.
Yeah, is it the McDonald's thing? Is that?
I don't know. I'll have a look though. McDonald's Pokemon.
McDonald's, to celebrate something, have been giving away Pokemon cards, and lots of adults have been getting them. So
not even McDonald's Pokemon Happy Meals are safe from scalpers.
Yeah.
If you're a scalper, honestly, punch yourself in the face. I really dislike the idea of taking away something from somebody that they can get pleasure from and adding 50% onto it or something like that. I'm not happy with that. I don't like it. Someone that we know defended scalpers in a Facebook comment, and I'm like, I get it. It's capitalism, isn't it? It's a pro-capitalism thing. You buy something, you sell it on. That's fine. But I think it's a very toxic thing to do, and I think it affects a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, look at the PC hardware market at the moment; it's absolute trash. You want a new graphics card? The 1050 Ti has been one of the best-selling graphics cards recently, and it's a very low to medium graphics card. And it won't play a lot of things well, like a lot of AAA stuff. It will struggle with. And but yeah, I should mention that. So my wife has had a new PC, and it's got a 3400G APU. Now, if you don't know what an APU, it's a CPU and a GPU. They get them. They have this little love baby called an 8. That's it. They're like, and then out pops an APU, which is so it has graphics hardware in the CPU. A lot of them have anyway, but this has an advanced level of graphics, and it plays games very well. We got Warzone playing at 1600 by 900, and it was going up to about 45 frames a second, and on sort of like low with a mix of low various settings, and it was playing pretty well. I was quite impressed. It's not going to be up to the standard of a lot of people, but I installed some lower end games. So I installed Falconeer, which is a new game that's come out, and that plays 60 frames a second, 1080p, and it is smooth. I did not expect it to play that well. If you're after a PC and it's you've got maybe a child or as a second gaming PC for someone else in your house that you want, I would recommend an APU. And I believe there's some new ones coming out soon as well. This is a Ryzen 3. That might be a Ryzen 3. I'm feeling dumb now. I can't remember. But there's some new Ryzen 7 APUs coming out, which will be even more powerful. It takes that element of having to buy this APU will perform as well as a £100 graphics card. It's an option. It's an option for kids who want to play Roblox and a bit of this, bit of that. I've not tried Fortnite on it. I'm going to install Fortnite. I'm going to try it and we'll see how it runs. Because if it can run that, then the market for this is massive. It's massive. It's very impressive. And we just added a bit of extra RAM and a new hard drive just for a bit extra sort of space in there. Absolutely amazing. There was one thing I did want to mention, because we're big, going on to film TV, we're big Mandalorian fans. We've watched it all, and it is a beautiful TV series that's on Disney Plus. And one of my favourite characters in it, Cara Dune, who's this, she is she's not an important character. She's that kind of like secondary / tertiary level of character. But she is one of the women in this this series that exudes a lot of power and respect, and they've basically sacked her. Disney have sacked her. She is I don't want to say she's right wing. I think right wing is basically like putting a Nazi hat on someone. I don't think people understand that. It's like we look at our viewpoints from our discussions. You're a bit left, I'm a bit right, but we're both kind of very central, aren't we? We're both there, but we have our own little opinions that differ, and I don't think any of them are particularly wrong because we're only off centre a small amount. Does that make any sense when I say that? But yeah, so she's a little bit further to the right, and I believe she's a Trump supporter, which I know a lot of people don't like over there. It seems very unfashionable to like that human being, understandably, because he's a bit of a dick sometimes. But there's a lot of people that like him, and as much as we don't want to be a big political sort of people when it comes to comment on this stuff, but I think if you have to respect the fact that people did vote for this person, and although it wasn't the popular vote, I know that's not how it works over there, it's done in some other trash way, but he did get in by their methods. You have to give it some respect. Now she's what is she I did have the quote, some of it, let's have a look. Gina Carano is not currently employed by Lucasfilm, and there are no plans for her in the future. Her social media posts denigrating people based on their cultural and religious identities are abhorrent and unacceptable. She was... I can't remember what exactly it was about, but she mentioned something about Jews and Nazis, and she was saying how that there's a lot of far left populists that are trying to turn people against people with other views. So, like, if you're far left, you should be very heavily against the far right, but in a kind of a nasty way. Of course, this is a social media. It's a tip, isn't it? It's a junkyard of idiots, and she was saying it's no different from the way that German people treated the Jews. And it's like, it was just an odd comment. Clearly, if I was employed by Disney, if I was in a big series, if I was getting a lot of money, clearly she's getting a few pence for this, she's getting a few, her wallet's clearly getting a bit fatter. I'd just shut my mouth.
Yeah.
But the Americans have this free speech thing, don't they? They go on and on and on about free speech. We can say what we want and do what we want, and I think it has its limits. We don't have free speech in the UK. People don't understand that, but we have tolerated levels of stupidity. But once you start being a dick, you will literally have a knock on your door and you'll be arrested. And I know people are thinking that's a bit drastic, but it's not. It's about being a decent person. And with free speech, some people don't know how to behave and become horrible people. That's how I look at it. I'm not sure about you. Have you got any thoughts on this?
Yeah, it strikes me as a bit strange, to be honest, because they've said that they have let go, or they've parted ways or whatever because of anti-Semitic views. Which Disney are famous for being extremely anti-Semitic, which is... I don't know whether that's why they've got rid of it.
Weren't they connected to there's some sort of like German Nazi connection going years back?
Yep.
Yeah.
They've had the fair share of snafus when it comes to Nazi stuff. There's lots of Donald Duck old cartoons about the Nazis. They did propaganda for the Second World War, all sorts of stuff.
Because the Nazi Party was popular in America, wasn't it? Not a lot of people know about this, do they? They were literally Nazi party members marching through the streets in America, and it doesn't seem to be taught.
No,
it's like, oh no. There wasn't like right wing Nazi supporters in America. No, yes, there was. Look it up. It's there, and it's so I've just had a quick look. So Walt Disney did a propaganda production for them, and it was in the early It was in the early 40s.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a couple of lifetimes ago, wasn't it? It wasn't like it was yesterday. But, I mean, should Gina Carano come out and be like, sorry about that, I wasn't thinking? I don't think she will. I think she's, from looking at her Twitter, I think she's a little bit tougher / stubborn. I just think if I had a good job, I wouldn't, like, I have a job, and I wouldn't sort of like, I'm trying to think of the right word, I wouldn't slag it off on social media. I won't be like, oh, actually the people actually my job's actually not too bad, so I'll struggle to attack it. I genuinely would struggle to attack it. I think there's a lot of positives. But I think it's a big mistake, because there was also rumours about her being involved in an offshoot series, wasn't there, to do with some sort of soldiers / I don't know, but she was supposed to be heading up that. And if that's true, then she's kind of messed it up, and I feel a bit bad for her. Just maybe just take your your free speech and just think to yourself, well, maybe this might affect my job, because of course Disney they might be fully supportive of free speech, but also they're supportive of their company, and they don't want this to do with it anymore, do they? So I'm a bit torn. I think she should be able to say what she wants, but at the same time, I think maybe she shouldn't. So it's a shame. But that's definitely our gaming / film / TV kind of little news bit.
Thanks for joining us. Drop us a comment on your thoughts on Valheim. Is it something you'd play? Do you want to see us playing more? Give us a like, and we would very much appreciate it if you could subscribe. I know we're trying to build the channel a little bit, and just that helps us, pushes us on in the right direction. And as always, I've been Nathan.
And I've been Lee.
And we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks for joining us on this episode. You can find us on various podcast platforms, including Spotify and Google Podcasts. Come and find us on Facebook, YouTube, and also we now have a Twitch channel where we're going to attempt to do a weekly stream.